Hey Candeo kids, I'm Drew.
And I'm Mason.
And thanks so much for letting us join you in your living room this morning to learn about God. Hey guys, last week was so cool seeing those pictures that you submitted on our Facebook page and we got in our emails. You guys did amazing. I loved your serious faces and your silly faces. It brought me so much joy watching those pictures just roll into the comments. Thank you so much for participating. And parents, if you ever snap a picture of your child during this time, send it in to us. We'd love to see how you're worshiping at home with your families.
Yeah, guys, like Drew said, we love learning about God with you guys, and we are so excited to do it again this week. But before we get into learning about God, would you guys stand up with us and let's stretch a little bit this morning. So let's start with touching the sky. So reach up.
Oh, I'm sore.
Yeah, me
Yikes.
too. All right, then you got to go down to the toes. You got to go down to the toes. Oh, can you touch your toes?
No, this is as far as I can get.
Oh, I hope you guys can touch your toes. And then how about let's spin around 2 times.
Oh, ready?
1, 2. Okay, and then last one. Jump 3 times. 1, 2, 3.
Awesome job, guys. You can go and find your seat, sit down, and get ready for our lesson.
Last week we learned about how God had sent the final plague on Egypt, which was to kill the firstborn child of every household. But God gave his people special instructions so that they would be saved.
Yeah, and the instructions were to kill a lamb and wipe the blood of the lamb on the doorposts of their houses, so that when God came and visited their house, he would see the blood and pass over the house, protecting the people inside. God called this day the Passover because he passed over the houses of his people.
So after Passover, Pharaoh let God's people finally go after being enslaved for 400 years.
Wow.
So now they were finally free, but Pharaoh decided that he was going to send his army after God's people, even though they were now free.
Yeah, so God had delivered his people from slavery, but would he protect them from Pharaoh's army, who was coming in quick? Watch this video to find out what comes next.
The Israelites quickly left Egypt. They traveled with their families and their animals. God was with them. During the day, God was in a cloud. He led them toward the Red Sea. At night, God was in a fire. God told Moses to make camp near the sea. God told Moses that the king of Egypt was coming. The Israelites were very scared, but God had a plan. The king of Egypt chased the Israelites and caught up with them near the sea where they were camping. The Israelites were afraid. "We are going to die." "Do not be afraid," said Moses. "God brought you here and he will fight for you." God told Moses what to do. He said, "Stretch out your hand over the sea." Moses did, and the sea was divided in 2. It was a miracle. But the Egyptians went after them. God made the wheels of their chariots swerve and wobble so they could not catch up to the Israelites. As soon as the Israelites were safely on the other side of the sea, Moses stretched out his hand again, and the waters returned, covering the Egyptians and killing all the king's army. When the Israelites saw what had happened, they thanked God. Moses and the Israelites sang a song to the Lord. "The Lord is my strength and my song," they said. "He saved us." Moses led the people away from the Red Sea, and they came to the wilderness. They could not find good water to drink, and they complained to Moses. God would provide for them. The Israelites came to a place called Elim, where there was plenty of food and water. They camped there. The Israelites left Elim, and they got hungry. "We are starving," they said. "You brought us out here to die." But that wasn't true. God knew what he was doing. God said, "I have heard the complaints of the Israelites. Tell them you will eat meat for dinner, and in the morning you will eat bread until you are full. Then you will know that I am Yahweh, your God." So at evening, quail came into the camp. In the morning, fine flakes of frost were on the ground. "What is it?" the Israelites asked. Moses said, "It is the bread the Lord has given you to eat." God was with them. God created a way for the Israelites to escape the Egyptians. In the same way, God created a way for people to escape the penalty of sin, His Son, Jesus Christ. Jesus is the only way to get to God.
What an incredible story, guys. How crazy is it that God parted the waters for His people to go through and escape Pharaoh's army?
Yeah, and I love the part where God was leading Israel in the day in a cloud of smoke, and then by night in a pillar of fire. How amazing is that? It really shows that God was with His people and would protect His people as long as they were with Him. Here are a few questions for you to answer from the video. The first question is this: what did God appear as when He was leading His people out of Egypt? God appeared as a cloud during the day and by fire during the night.
So guys, the second question is, when Egypt had caught up to Israel at the Red Sea, what did God do to save His people? You guys can talk about that one right now. God split the waters of the Red Sea so His people could walk through them.
Here's the last question for you guys to talk about. When the Israelites were complaining about how hungry they were, what did God give them to make them full? Talk about that now. God gave His people meat and bread from heaven to make sure that they weren't hungry anymore. Just how He provides for us every single day. Thanks again for joining us this morning, Candeo kids. If you forgot, this is another reminder for you. Family Week, one of the best weeks of the whole entire summer, is coming up in just like 3 or 4 weeks. June 21st is when Family Week is going to kick off. We're going to be walking through the first 3 chapters of Genesis, and we're calling it In the Beginning, learning about the very beginning when time started. If you haven't signed up yet, get your spot. We hope that everyone can join us for this online virtual event. We're really, really excited for it, guys. Sign up at candeochurch.com/events.